the, all right, hold on hold on 1 second. Let's get rid of this one. Let me go back into the clubhouse. Alrighty. So if anyone's joining me tonight and you have any questions as I'm going, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep making the blanket, and then I will post a video. The video for you guys in the clubhouse will stay there, and then I am going to share it to my painting group, but they will have to pay $25 for the class, okay? So, Dawn, this is part of your lessons, okay? Tomorrow night, I'm not sure if I'm going on tomorrow night or Thursday. Either tomorrow or Thursday, I'm going to go on and do the resin for you. All right. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you buy, it's called Yarn Bee from Hobby Lobby, Eternal Bliss. If you try to use any other brand, the process isn't going to work that good for you because the yarn, like from Walmart, is too thin, okay? If you get the yarn from Michaels, they have the chunky blanket yarn at Michaels. You only need 4 skeins instead of 5 skeins, okay? So the chunky knit blanket that we're making tonight is 40 by 50. Now I'm not going to sit here and make a whole 40 by 50 blanket, but I am going to go through the whole process with you so you can see how to do it, okay? All right, so you want to leave your yarn. You want to take the wrapping off the yarn, but kind of leave it in a ball. Now I'm using yarn that I have been using for a while, so it's out of the packaging, okay? You kind of don't want to do that, but I've been using this so long to show people how to make the blankets that it's now not in a ball anymore. So you want to kind of keep it in a ball, but the object of this is whichever way you're going is where you're going to move your yarn. So right now, my yarn is right here on the right of me, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to tie a knot in your yarn, pull it tight, okay? Then you are going to take your yarn and you're going to cross it over. All right, cross it on top one more time. Cross it over, and you're going to make an E like you're cursive writing, okay? So when you cursive writing, that loop is going over your E when you're cursive writing, okay? Sort of like doing a slip knot also, but it's like cursive writing. All right, so I'm gonna do it one more time. So there's your, I call it an E because it looks like an E to me. Then you're gonna take your left hand, you're gonna put it in, just your little fingertips sticking through. You're gonna take your right hand, you're gonna push it through, and you're gonna pull. Now there's your first knot, okay, or your first stitch. You're gonna do 20 of these across, okay? And you wanna keep them about 1.5 inches long, no more than 2 inches, but you also wanna be consistent when you do this, okay? If you make them too big, if you make them like this, the loops like this, that's way too big, okay? But you don't want the loops real tiny like this, okay? Because what will happen is as you're going, you're gonna lose your loops. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And see how I'm pulling the yarn from the right? 5, 6, oops, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, now there's my 20, okay? So my knot is over to the left. here are my 20 chain stitches. So this is just like crocheting with a needle. You know, you take a needle and you do your chain stitches, okay, across. We're doing that, only we're using our hands, okay? So this should be close to, if not, 20 inches. 20 inches, 40 inches, okay? And I marked off on my table with pencil the other day when I was teaching class, just to get in my guide, and it went from here to here. So mine is just a little short, but that's okay. You want it as close as you can get. If you are like halfway across and you got 20 stitches, they're too tight. If you're past it, I mean really past it, then your stitches are going to be too loose. All right, the next thing you're going to do is you are going to take this and you're going to flip it towards you. Okay? All right, so I'm going to do that one more time. So here's my stitch number 20, okay? All I'm doing is flipping it towards me. All right, and then what I'm going to do is my yarn is going down to my left, because you want your yarn going the direction that you're working, okay? So this yarn is going to go back and forth as you work. All right, so we're not going to touch the first loop. We're going to leave that there. Then you're going to come in. When you look, there's like in your knot, there's 1, 2, 3. The one in the middle is the knot, okay? So that's your first one. So you're going to take it and you're going to pull. Now you're not pulling from here, you're pulling from here. That's why you need this on the left side of you. Your working yarn, you need that loose, okay? We're going to go in and we're going to pull, okay? So you're going to do this all the way across. All the way, okay? Now it's going to try to stand up a little bit. Try to keep it flat so you can get your stitches in. If this part stands up while you're going, it's okay. But you want this to stay flat so you don't miss your loops, okay? Your knots. You're going to go in and you're going to pull. So remember what I said. If you look at your stitch, your chain stitches have a knot in the middle, okay? So you have a outer and middle. You have a top, middle, and bottom. So the middle is what you are feeding the yarn through, okay? Once you get the hang of this, it's really, really easy. You only have to flip this one time, okay? You don't have to flip it anymore. So I'm just going through my knots, going under. You're always going behind or under, okay? You're never going on top or in front of, all right? So you're going under. Now, because I don't have a ball of yarn, I have to loosen this a little bit. See how it's trying to, see how it's trying to stand up, okay? Just be aware of that, all right? Because I don't want you to lose your stitches. Okay, now mine are all pretty consistent, okay? So you're just going to keep going all the way down. I was going to pick more yarn up from Hobby Lobby today, but I thought, you know what, I have enough here I could show you guys. I don't need to buy any more yarn. Okay, one more here. And then the very beginning, there is a knot. All right, now what you're going to do, you're going to put your yarn the other way. So now your yarn is to the right of you, all right? So you are going to skip this first one, okay? Let me move this down. You're going to skip this first one. Move a little further. Let me wait for the camera to catch up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use all my teal yarn, and then when I'm just about out and I'm at the one end, I'm going to show you how to connect your colors, okay? So we're going to leave this first loop. Now we're going to go into the second loop, and you're just making loops, okay? So now you're just going into the loops. Now this is the easy part. Now the only thing I have to tell you is you have to be careful Because if you're talking to somebody or watching TV while you're doing this, and it's easier to do it on a table, okay, you're going to miss a loop. And if you miss a loop, that loop can cause the whole blanket to unravel. All right, and I don't want that to happen to you. All right, so right now I'm just going into the loops. Making sure they're all pretty much the same. Okay, so I'm going to come in here, and there's one hanging out here. I'm going to pick that one up. Okay, pick that one up, and now I'm going to go into the next one. My yarn's now going the other way. You have to remember to flip your yarn back and forth. If you don't, and you go to pull it, you're going to be pulling your other stitch out, okay? So if your yarn is going towards the direction that you're stitching, okay, it won't pull these stitches that are before it out, okay? Because you're pulling from here. You're pulling from the working yarn and not your stitch. So what I do is I always hold it when I pull, just to be on the safe side. Now these blankets take roughly 2.5 to 3 hours to do. The more you do, the quicker you're going to get, okay? You will have to rewind this, I'm sure, and watch it over and over, okay? If you go to check your blanket, like after a couple rows, we always flip our blanket to check it. If you are missing loops, you want to unpull everything out and redo it. Okay, you want to wait until you're 10 rows up and say, oh no, I forgot to check, let me check, and you missed a loop. Okay, so you're pulling it through. These remind me of little bunny ears. Okay, little bunny ears. All right, and then I got this last one here. I'm going to pick that one up. Okay, that's going toward, now I'm going the other way, okay? So now, I'm not going to go into the one I just made, I'm going to go into the one after that, okay? Pull it up. I don't want to go too fast, because I want you guys to see. It's a pretty blanket when it's all done. I will pull my other one over to show you when I'm done. Okay, that's already finished. All right, so for some reason it knocked me out. Let's go back in. I mean, I'm still videoing, but I locked the computer, locked me out. Kicked me off, my tablet, kicked me off for whatever reason, who knows. All right, so we're just gonna keep going. I got the ears. See how nice this bottom looks? So now this bottom is finished. And as you pick these up as you go, these side pieces, that's what's going to finish the sides of your blanket. All right. Keep going. And then I'm picking this one up here to finish my row. And then when I start the next row, I'm not going to go back into this one. I'm going to go into this one. Okay. So now my yarn goes the other way. You have to remember to move your yarn every time you do another row. Okay, because you're pulling from here or you're pulling from here. Depends on which direction you're going. Okay. You're going to keep going. I'm almost out of blue, but I want to make sure that I am at a corner, well, at the end, so I could show you if you want to start another color, okay? Pull it up. Okay, make sure it's flat. As you're working, okay, if I was up like 10 rows, you would roll this up and pull it towards you, okay? But we don't have to do that because I don't have that many rows yet, okay? All right. Remember, they're like little bunny ears. That's what they remind me of. You just keep pulling up. Pulling up. Let me pull this down a little bit. I'm trying to, I didn't want to do it in front of me because then it's backwards for you guys. So I figure if I did it off to the side, it would be better. All right, so I'm almost to the end. So I have this guy here, this little guy hanging out here. So I'm gonna pick him up. And remember, you're not gonna go back into the one you make, because if you go back into the one you make, then it's not right, okay? And you don't want to lose it. All right, so now I'm gonna go the other way. And remember, you can use Walmart yarn, but it's very thin. It's not very nice, okay? The Yarn Bee yarn, Eternal Bliss from Hobby Lobby is really good yarn. It's nice yarn. And you can, I'm gonna tell you, every time you go online to order it, it's gonna tell you it's not in stock, but it will be at the store, because I've been to Lexington Hobby Lobby several times this month. Well, yeah, March. And I've had students tell me they couldn't get it online, but when I went there, it's in the store. So for whatever reason, they may not be letting you order offline. I really don't know why. All right. Maybe they want to keep it for the store. Right now it's 30% off. So it's $6.99, and then you can get 30% off. Some of my students in my last class, I think it was the 27th, ordered online and they were able to get it shipped to them. So I'm not saying you can't, I'm just saying you may not be able to. So, all right, so this is what I had left of my blue. So now I'm gonna grab my gray. Give me 1 second. Now, if you have another color you want to add, I like to add it on the left, but I don't have enough of the teal or the blue, whatever you want to call it. I don't have enough of that color to go back. So you want to cut it close to this, close to here, okay? And then what you're going to do, I hope it doesn't knot up on me. Then what you're going to do is you're going to tie it in a knot. Pull it tight, and then trim it. Okay, so now I'm going to start my next row. All right, now remember, I'm not going back into this one. Now I'm coming up here. I will tell you, to finish off a blanket, you need 3 lengths, okay? And it's always good to end on the left. If you end on the right, it's okay. It's the same process, only I'm going to be ending on the left to show you how to go to the right. Okay? If you're left-handed, end on the right and go to the left. I just have to make sure when I do this that I have at least 3 lengths of yarn the whole way. 1, 2, 3 lengths to finish off the blanket. Okay? So we're going to finish it off in this color. I'm going to go as far as I can with this color. I hope this video helps everyone understand how to do this. Okay? It's not hard. It's a little time consuming. And you do, like I said, you do want to pay attention to what you're doing. If you don't pay attention to what you're doing, you're going to lose a stitch, and it's going to unravel. Okay, so I don't want you to lose a stitch. These would make great Christmas gifts. Give you something to do over the summer. Buy your yarn when it's on sale. Never pay full price for the yarn, okay? You guys, you know, Hobby Lobby did away with their 40% off coupon. See, now I'm gonna pick up that end one. Now this is my new row and I'm going the other way. Okay, let me try to, hopefully this isn't too raveled. I probably should have just bought new yarn, but maybe I'll do that next time. I wanted to use what I already had to show you. Right, so this is trash. All right, so remember I said pick up that last one? So that last one is the teal, okay? And then you go into the next one. So now you're doing another row. All right, so now I'm on my second row of gray. I like these two colors together. I probably should have just bought 5 skeins. I could have made myself a blanket for the house. But I didn't. Like I said, I wanted to use what I had. So this is what happens when you undo your yarn, but you don't want to undo it, okay? I'm only using this because this is what I had left over from teaching. All right, so I'm on my second row of the gray. Yeah, pretty. They're really nice blankets. Some people are charging like $100, $150, $125. I don't know. I've seen them on Etsy like for over $100. They're very time consuming, okay? But that's a lot of money. I think it's a lot of money. Okay, that one. There's that one. And now I'm going to pick up this green guy here on the end. And now this is my new row. And now my yarn goes down that way. Let me loosen some of this up. All right, so I can pull this towards me. I mean, you can go really fast with this. See how I'm going behind and pulling it up. Behind and pulling it up. See how I'm pulling from here? This is your working yarn. You have to remember to move it every time you do a row. Whatever direction you're going is where your yarn needs to be. Okay? If that yarn was over here, I'm going to the left. If that yarn was over to the right, I'd be fighting it right now. Okay? Maybe able to get one more before I show you how to finish it off. Alright, so now I'm going to pick up this gray one here, and then I'm going to leave that one, that last one, and then my yarn goes the other way. So let's see if I can get one more row in, okay? I will tell you, it's a little hard on your back, okay? But there's really no other way to do this than to put it on the table. But like I said, you can roll it if you're, you know, if you don't want to reach so far. I am in a higher chair than the chairs in the store, only because I have to sit up higher when I work, okay? That's just me. I had a couple students say that I should get the tall tables with the stools. Well, that's all good, but then I have students that can't get up on the stool. You know, I have older ladies that, you know, that are not going to be able to get up on the stool. I personally wouldn't want to have to get up and down the stool if I'm in a class. So that's why I like to do the tables. Plus, then I have to worry about the kids. When the kids take the class, I have to worry about the kids falling off the stools. And I don't want to do that. All right, so there's my last one. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to check and see if I have 3 lengths. So that's 1. Aha, look, it's another piece. So let's tie that off. And that happens sometimes. Your yarn, when you get it from Hobby Lobby or whatever, sometimes it's not connected, and all you do is tie it in a knot and then trim it. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3. I may have enough to go back one more time. Let's see. So I did that one, so now I'm going to go back the other way. And then I'm going to show you how to tie it off. Okay? Easy peasy. So remember, you always want to add your color at the end of a row. Okay? If you add it in the middle, it's going to look funny. Okay? So what some of my students do is they'll do like 1 skein of the teal, 1 skein of gray, 1 skein of teal. You know, they'll alternate. Okay? Get creative. You can do a teal, 2 grays, and a teal. You know what I mean? 2 teals, 2 grays, 2 teals. I mean, it's only 5, so, you know, just get creative with it. If you do more than 5, you're just going to have a bigger throw blanket. That's all. Okay? And it's okay. So just keep that in mind. You're just going to have a bigger throw blanket. All right, let's see if we have 3. I'm hoping we have 3. One, 2, I don't have 3. So what I'm going to do is, hold on 1 second. I think I have a piece of gray left from Saturday's class. I'm going to add to this because then I think this will make me 3. So let me find the end. Remember, tie in a knot, pull it tight, cut a little tail. All right, so now let's try it. Now let's see. Remember I said 3 lengths. 1, 2, 3. I may have just enough. Alrighty. So let me pull this down so you can see. I'm going to show you. I mean, you would keep going with all 5 skeins of yarn. Okay. Oh, let me flip this so you can see. I have not missed any loops. Okay. None of my loops are missing. You're going to see where the things were tied off. But other than that, you're not going to see any loops. All right, so let's pull it back. All righty. Let me pull this down a little bit. All right, so in order to finish your blanket, all right, you want to finish it on the left side. Okay, your right, your left. So I just got finished this loop, so now I want to pick up my last loop. All right. So now I have this one and this one. So you're going to pick up 2. You're going to pick up this one and the next one. You're going to feed it through and pull it this way, just like you did with the chain stitch in the beginning. So 1, 2, pull it through. See how my yarn's down there? 1, 2, pull it through. So it's from behind, okay? 1, 2, pull it through. So you're pulling it this way, just like when you did the chain stitch in the beginning. That's sort of what you're doing up here, but you're finishing off your blanket, okay? So 1, 2, push it through. 1, 2, push it through. If you say that to yourself, I know it sounds a little odd, but if you say it to yourself, it'll help you. So the 1 that's in your hand, 2, the loop that's laying here, push it through. 1, 2, push it through. And then you pull it like you did in the beginning with your chain stitch. Now if you notice, it's finishing off the top of your blanket. And if you also notice, when you picked up your sides, it also finished your sides of your blanket. Okay, so that's how you finish all your edges. 1, 2, pull it through. 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 And you don't want to miss these. Okay, 1, 2, pull it through. 1, 2, pull it through. Remember I said to the back, okay? 1, 2, pull it through. 1, 2, pull it through. I'm gonna have enough, so that's good. 1, 2, pull it through. Slide it down a little bit. 1, 2, I'm gonna have just enough. Pull it through. Now, so you have 1, 2 is this one here. You're gonna pull it through, okay? But as you pull it through, let me do that one more time. As you pull it through, you're gonna loop it and you're gonna knot it. Okay? There's your knot. You have to knot it, okay? Sometimes I go back and I put it in and I knot it again. Now, if you have any left over, then what you would do is just weave it in, okay? Just like in the beginning, you have this long tail, okay? You don't have to cut it. You've already put a knot in it. But what you want to do is you want to weave it. Just pick a spot and just weave it in. Here, let me move this down further so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. All right, so you have this tail in the beginning. You're just going to weave it through. Okay? And that's it. There's your blanket. Here's your blanket. Okay, now your blanket's going to be bigger than this. I just wanted, remember I said I'm not going to do 5 skeins of wool, but I want you to see your blanket. Okay, and then you can fold it over so you can see, make sure you don't miss any loops. If you miss loops, say I missed this loop, you can cut it and tie it to the next one up. Okay, so that's how you would do that. So there you go, girls. I hope you enjoyed it. I can't wait to see you do a blanket. Make sure you send me a picture. Post it on my Coastal Strokes Facebook page, not in the clubhouse. Okay. So when you're done your first blanket, please share your pictures on Coastal Strokes Facebook page. You all have a good evening, and thanks for joining me. Bye.